Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, January 24th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update and we should be good to go. So, one last thing, and we are good to go. Let me just see you guys here in the premium. So link is sent out. YouTube link sent out too. All right, as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking liquidity over here. So we got this ARP liquidity right there, color that blue. There, there. Going down to the 8-hour time frame. Put it right there, down to the 4-hour. There, there. Down to the 2-hour. Down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute. Color that red. Down to the 15-minute. Down to the 10-minute. And it looks like we are good to go. So we have liquidity market up right here, guys. You can see price is pretty much ranging right here. It's been ranging for a while. Closest level of liquidity is going to be below right here at 38,216. It's probably going to get hit right now pre-market. That's going to be the closest level for a sell. Closest level for a buy is going to be above over here at 38,253. So we don't really have much volatility right now. ETR is currently at 5, so it's actually very slow. There goes the first two levels of liquidity. Let's go over here to our clean chart. I'm going to mark up 6:30, 8 o'clock. Look for structure here on the 4-hour time frame. We got some structure up here, some structure down here. Go down to the 1-hour time frame. We got some more structure right here. And we got some structure right here. All right, so it looks like price is currently rejecting off the 1-hour resistance right here. So this is the 1-hour resistance level. And then right above it, we have the 4-hour resistance level as well. So there goes the clean chart. We'll come back to this on market open. See who's here so far. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Nikki. Morning, iPad. Morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, January 24th, 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead to our main chart. I think there was news this morning, news at 4 o'clock. There's more news at 6:45 and news at 7:30. That's pretty much it. 6:45, 7:30, and 4 o'clock. So let me go mark it up real quick. news over here at 4 o'clock, which is super far from current price. I'm probably not going to expect price to push from there. We have news at 6:45, which is coming up soon, and 7:30. Hey, David, morning. All right, 4 o'clock. 6:45, 7:30. All right, looks like we are good to go, guys. So, morning, everybody. Market's gonna open soon in about 40 seconds. Marked up pretty much everything that needed to be marked up. Looking over here at the news for today, we have some high impact news at 6:45, and then some medium impact news at 7:30. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 80% short. This indicates that 80% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently going to be flat for pre-market. Once market opens, we'll see what the fundamentals are looking like. Now, looking over here at the technicals, the 1 minute is currently bearish, the 5 minute is bullish, 10 minute is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 4 hours bullish. Everything is bullish except the 1 minute. So you might see a correction back to the upside eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time until that happens. So here we go. Market is now open, guys. I'm going to go ahead and mark up opening price right here. Bit of a crazy candle, but no surprise there. That's kind of what we were expecting, especially with all of this conflicting analysis with regard to direction of price from the 1 minute across the board, from the 5, 10, 1 hour, 30 minute, 1 hour, 30 minute, and 4 hour. So we'll see where price goes. Again, we're not going to force any trades here as usual. We're just going to wait for price here to stabilize a bit, and then we will be looking for some entries. There's no entries here anyways to begin with. The low right here does not have a double body or double wick, so there's no reversal pattern indicating that price is going to swing in either direction. We kind of just have to wait. So we'll see what happens here. But there goes the liquidity, guys. So if you guys took the first level of liquidity that I marked up right here, full TP, it hit pre-market just like we anticipated. Price is on its way down to the next level of liquidity down here. So we'll see if price makes its way down there. Otherwise, we'll see if price swings back up. We have a double body rejection right here. So if this here closes, this is going to be a V1 variation type pattern. And then if we have this here, price may push up to the upside for a breakout V3. The only problem with this here is that the trend is bearish, so I'm probably not going to take any buys here yet. I'm going to wait for the trend to shift. Otherwise, I'll look for some sells back down if price does correct back to the downside. So just be careful, guys. Be careful and be smart. You know, it's been a tricky week, been a tricky month in general for January. January wasn't as profitable as it usually is every year. There's actually a lot of traps this year during January, which is, it's completely fine. That's just how the market works. It's not always going to be linear year after year. Every year market shifts a little bit. You have to be able to adjust with the market, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to identify the changes so that you can adjust with the market as efficient as possible. Okay, so we have a V1 pattern right here. We have a buy signal. The only problem with this here is that the trend is still bearish on the 1 minute, so I'm not really looking to take any trades here just yet. I need this to shift to a bullish trend. We got caught in a trade earlier in January. That's the only loss we had for this month and for this year so far, was that we traded against the trend. So being on the safe side, I'm only going to trade in the direction of the trend, at least until we have some sort of confirmation that, you can take trades against the trend, which we don't have here. You can see prices kind of just bouncing back and forth. There's not really much of a direction here. And then again, right there, that buy signal just disappeared. Buy signal came up, disappeared, now it's swinging right back down. There's no V1 pattern here, so we don't have a pattern on the other side. We just have a V1 pattern from the bottom side right here. So what I would be okay with is if we had like a V1 pattern up here and it provided an M pattern right back down, I would have been okay to take the sell. But at this very moment, it's not looking like it. So we just got to be patient and wait for better confirmation here, but you guys can see where the manipulation is happening. It's happening right at the sessions right here, the London high. You want to be careful because there are more sessions down here as well. So just keep that in mind. Here's our clean chart. I'll mark up structure right here so that you guys can see the fake outs. So pretty much price is now ranging between the 1 hour resistance and the 1 minute support. You guys can see the fake out right there. It's rejecting directly off the 1 minute support. It's also rejecting directly off the sessions. So it's an area full of manipulation right here. Just want to wait a little bit. Once you have that confirmation of direction, then you can start looking for entry. Right now, the direction is bearish on the 1 minute, but it's really just going sideways. You can't really see it here, but on the clean chart, you can see here that price is obviously going back and forth between 1 hour resistance, 1 minute support, back and forth. All right. Keep in mind we have high impact news at 6:45. So if anything, price will probably just range and consolidate here until 6:45, and then you're probably going to see some big volatility push at the news price. And there you go. Price rejected again directly off the sessions. There's no V1 pattern here, guys, so there's no opportunity for entry here if you guys are looking for something. It just rejected directly off the sessions and swung right back up. There's another pending buy signal right here. Again, if this buy signal closes, this is going to set up for a breakout V3 continuation. It does not have my confluence, so I'm not looking to take this trade here myself. I'll mark it up if it does close as a breakout V3, but I'm not going to take it because, again, I need my confluence in order for me to take that trade. I'm only looking for A+ setups. I'm not looking for anything here that's kind of risky. Right now, I'm considering it risky because there's just no direction. Price goes back and forth. There may be another V1 pattern over here. So this is what I'm looking for now. If this here closes red, we're going to get a V1 pattern, which is exactly what I'm looking for. If it doesn't, then it's not going to close as a double body. But there's a high right here, and if it does close red, this will be a double body rejection, which it does not look like it's going to. All right, so no close right there. Again, we have a pending buy signal here. If this buy signal closes, it's going to be a breakout V3 continuation setup. So again, we're just going to wait. It's a matter of patience until this comes up. It's just kind of fishing for that entry to come to us. And again, we are just waiting for this here to play through. Price is currently rejecting off the 1 hour resistance. You can see over here on the clean chart, it's rejecting directly off it again. So price is just ranging between 1 hour resistance and 1 minute support. And it's probably going to keep doing that until news hits right here at 6:45. News at 6:45 is high impact. It's pretty much inflation news. S&P Global Services PMI, S&P Global Composite PMI, Global Manufacturing PMI. So services, composite, and manufacturing PMI, all high impact inflation news for January. And that's probably going to cause price here to jump. So just gotta sit tight, guys. News is going to happen in about 10 minutes or less, actually 8 minutes. Here goes, price comes back down. No surprise. Just like I mentioned, pretty much a range consolidation until this blue line, which is news price, 6:45. All right. So we don't really have much of a trend here. You guys can see the trend is starting to shift to the upside, which is perfectly fine. That's kind of what we were waiting for. Once we have this trend over here shift, then we can start looking for some buys. I'm going to go and take this off. Clean up the chart a bit. Again, if you guys are looking for that breakout V3 continuation, it's still setting up right here. Hasn't closed yet, but once it closes, you can look for that green candle to follow. Again, I'm not going to take the trade because it's too close to news right here. And then also there's no confluence. So I need my confluence of a V1 reversal pattern before I can start looking for entries. My first step for any entry really is going to be a V1 pattern. I'm looking for a double body, double wick off a high low. And then from there, I'm looking for either a continuation or a retracement for a double top or double bottom. So that's all I'm looking for here. Again, the pending buy signal is pending. Probably might or might not close. Again, right there, no close. So you guys can see it's just consolidation. Here's a clean chart. It's consolidating within this area. It's prepping for the breakout that's going to happen when news pops up. 6:45. Let's see. So services PMI is forecasted to be negative. Composite PMI is forecasted to be negative, and manufacturing PMI is forecasted to be neutral. So we'll see. That's a forecast, but doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. January is a bit of a tricky month for inflation news. Any type of economic news is very tricky for January because it's a new year, right? It's a brand new year, and you can't really expect or anticipate what's going to be announced because you don't have a whole year to kind of build off it. Like if we're having a bad year, it's probably going to continue to be a bad year. It's a brand new year, so we don't really have any idea what the news is going to look like. Randy's asking, did anyone get the sentiment before market open? It's 80% short, Randy. So it's very bullish. Also, the trend is very bullish too. So they all line. Let's check the fundamentals. Fundamentals should be bullish as well. Yeah, we have a very bullish bias today. So the fundamentals are currently up 139 points. The sentiment here is 78%. It went down by 2%, but still very bullish. You can see here, it's obviously bullish. Looking over here at the technicals, everything's bullish. So we have a very, very bullish bias today, which is why I was looking for price to swing back up. But again, like I mentioned, it's just a matter of time until we have some sort of confluence or confirmation that our trade's coming. There hasn't been any entries that have came up to begin with, so there's nothing here for us to look at anyways. So regardless of the fact, there's no entries here. There's currently a buy signal here, guys. So if a green candle closes right here, this is technically going to be the breakout V3. However, I'm not looking to take it for many reasons. For one, we have news right here at 6:45, which is very high impact. That's in about 4 minutes. Also, we don't have the confluence of the V1 reversal pattern. So there's obviously no entry there for me. But if this does close green, it'll set up for a breakout V3 continuation and a regular breakout V3 entry. I'll mark it up for you guys if it closes, but it's not looking like it's going to close here. You guys can see there's a red candle. It's pretty big. It has about 20 seconds for it to shift to a green candle. And if it doesn't, then obviously there's not going to be any opportunity there for entry. The reason why I choose to stick to the breakout V3 and V1 variations is because they're very simple strategies to follow. So depending on, regardless of the level of trading skill you have, these strategies are very easy to follow. And you can see right there was no entry. Either way, it looks like price is just rejecting off the 1 hour resistance. Like I said over here, it's not really going to do much until news happens in the next 3 minutes. So just gotta sit tight and wait for the news here to happen, which is going to happen. It's just a matter of time until it does. I'm really hoping news pushes price away because I'm really tired of price being stuck in this area. So I really want the news to just spike price somewhere. Doesn't matter if it pushes it up or pushes it down. I actually would want it to push it down so that we kind of like get all of this, read all these red flags knocked out and then a correction back up. That's kind of what I like to see. Because I just want to see these sessions here get kind of touched, because once they get touched, then at that point, we already know that the manipulations has started and possibly ended. Because if it stays up here, then there's odds of it coming back down here. And then if it comes down here, we can't take any entries around this area, right? So for me personally, I would rather have price spike down, kind of get screwed around this area with the manipulation and then come back up, provide entry up here. And this is where I want to trade. Yeah, Maddie said he hopes news is positive. I hope news is positive, but I hope price gets manipulated. So I hope news is positive and it comes down here, and then it comes back up here. That's where I want price to be. Looks like we have a double body rejection right here, guys. I kind of hate that this is happening right before news because I don't want another entry to happen before news or around news price. Yeah, Andrew said, damn, join late and that open looks crazy. Yeah, it's crazy all over, right, Andrew? It's a huge range. It looks crazy right here, but if you look over here at the clean chart, Andrew, it's actually pretty clear. Price is rejecting off the 1 hour resistance and rejecting off the 1 minute support. So it's actually a pretty clean range. It just looks crazy right there because you don't see the levels, but the levels are like pretty obvious over here on the clean chart. But either way, there's no entries there to begin with, so it wouldn't even matter. It's just that's why I have multiple charts here, guys. I like to clean it up a little bit. You know, our main chart here has a lot of stuff on it. So I like to kind of just go back and forth so that you guys can see the difference between, you know, a couple different setups here. Liquidity here got hit though, I feel like immediately on open. I think that's the only entry that came up. So the only entry that came up was liquidity. There's nothing else that's come up since then. Yeah, Maddie said it's just faking out both ways, luring in buyers and sellers. Andrew said not trading today, part of my plan. I always lose on Wednesdays, but definitely here to learn. Yeah, no, that's key. So that's a key thing. So Andrew over here, you know, he documents and journals his trades, and he knows that, you know, these are his risky days, so he just doesn't trade on Wednesdays, which is smart. That's the key of journaling. So there goes a news candle right there, guys. It's a huge, huge, huge spike. It pretty much wicked out all the red flags down here. This is exactly what I was looking for. It did exactly what we thought would happen, right? Price came down, pretty much messed with all of the sessions down here. And then I hope it stays down here for a while and then comes back up. Because I just want the manipulation and whatever to happen down here. And then I'm okay taking trades up here. So I'm okay with it staying down here. I actually wanted to stay down here for a while. News was positive. Thanks, guys, for checking that. Yeah, it's doing exactly what we anticipated. Perfect. So the news here was all positive. Price got manipulated to the downside, just like I wanted. It's doing exactly what we forecasted, guys. So I wanted to sit down here, provide me a V1 variation pattern, and then swing back up. Let's see. Song said his candles on TradingView and MC4 don't match up. Yeah, they're way different. Song, mine too. That's normal for like high impact news events like this. Whenever the high impact news comes out, it usually kind of screws up the candles a little bit. Eventually it'll balance out, but just the candles right there on because the data is so off, right? The data for MT4 is like it's delayed compared to YM because we're getting this data directly from the exchange. So you're going to see like the candles kind of funky on MT4 because they weren't able to keep up with how fast the candles are moving. So they're going to match up eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time until they do. But yeah, the news candle right here, I'm pretty sure it's all screwed up, right? That's anticipated. All right, so we got that right there. Price is currently below the 1 minute support now, which is completely fine. I don't mind it. I'll leave it as is. I'm not going to update any levels. So I'm okay with the manipulation happening down here. I'm just going to look for that correction. So I'm basically going to look for the correction back up. The problem with this here, guys, is that we're not going to get any new lows. So we can't get any new lows because there's a low here already. We need to have a new high. So I need price to kind of push up a little bit, establish a high, come back down, establish another low, then come back up and come back up higher. So this is kind of what we need here because we currently have a low here already. So we need to have a new high. We need a new high to be established. Once a new high is established, it'll come down, establish a new low. Once it establishes a new low, we can maybe look for, you know, a double bottom like this right here. Correction back up, possibly some entries. There's just a lot of different scenarios here that can play out. But we just gotta wait for it. There's just not gonna be any lows here, at least not anytime soon. Yeah, Rashida said I want it to drop lower for news correction. Yeah, same here, Rashida. I think that's probably the key thing, right? The lower, the better, because when the correction happens, it's going to happen. So the lower the better, in my opinion as well. I think that'd probably be the best case because it's not too far down from news price right here. News price is actually pretty close. You want price to dump down a bit by that V1 pattern and correct back up. So, all right, there goes the news for 6:45. We have more news at 7:30, which is medium to low impact. It's just got gas stocks and oil stock change, which is not going to be a huge impact, but it's still medium impact. So we'll see. Again, we're just going to be waiting for any opportunities here to come up. Nobody to force anything. Just got to be patient. Daniel said that there was a momentum pullback scalp that hit, but he didn't take it at the sessions. Yeah, it was right at the sessions right here. So let's take a look at that entry. There's a sell signal right here, price pushed down. There was a retracement right here. Entry would have happened right here. And it was right at the sessions like Daniel mentioned. Would have been a good entry, but it was right at the sessions right there for the momentum pullback scalp. If anybody decided to take that or anybody saw that, that would have been the entry right there. Nice work, Daniel, on identifying that. So this is going to be the cool thing about the mentoring group, right? So as you guys know, we're having the mentoring incubator for February up until May. Like Daniel over here identified a momentum pullback scalp. If you guys wanted to review that during the mentoring session after, we would review that, identify, why was it good, why was it bad, reasons to take it, reasons not to take it. And the main reason here not to take that trade, even though it would have hit, was that it was at the sessions. So that's stuff that we'll cut and cover in detail. And, it's just going to help you guys understand things a lot better because these red flags apply to all the strategies. It's not just for momentum pullback scalp, it applies to everything. Yeah, Patricia said the market sucks this month. I agree 100%. Just like I said earlier, guys, this January isn't your typical January. Last January, we made probably the most profits because the market was so directional. Same with the year before that. But as I mentioned earlier as well, the market's never going to be the same, guys. That's why you can't stick to one thing. That's why you need somebody who can adapt with the market so that you can adapt with it as well. So I've been trading the market for like 10, 11 years now, live with you guys for over 5 years. So it's beneficial for both of us because it prevents me from getting caught in fake outs, prevents me from getting caught in traps, and it also prevents you guys from taking bad trades because you actually can follow through with my analysis and you can align it with your own. So we'll see here. Price is starting to dump even further. Looks like liquidity over here got hit. Kevin just mentioned. Thanks, Kevin, for the heads up. So liquidity over here just got hit pretty much all the levels on this lower end. Well, the first one got hit over here already, and then it got hit again right here. So initially when it pushed down, it got hit, and then again, it got hit again right here with the follow through. So here goes all the liquidity I marked at pre-market. Let's see if there's any other levels down below. There's another level down here. So there's more liquidity down below. It's just not there yet. No V1 pattern here. There's a new low, but no V1 pattern. Yeah, Andrew said it's probably because we were near the all-time high, a lot of manipulation. Yeah, exactly what happened yesterday too. Rashida said, I like this push reject off the Asia low, give a double body and take it back up. Yeah, I could see that too. I think that would be solid. Yeah, so that'd be nice for it to come down even lower. Reject off here and climb back up. If this is the case, this is perfectly fine because we'll be able to take trades around this area here, right? There's an open space here where we can take trades. So if price comes down, that's fine. If price pushes up from where it's currently at, that's also fine. I don't mind it. I think the lower the better because if it goes lower, then we'll know that price is going to push back up to open, right? So you'll have some sort of a direction right there. Let's see. David said, I hope Trump will win and the market will come back to like we had when he was president. It was so much easier to trade back then. Yeah, well, it's looking like it, guys. So if you guys have been following the presidential election, Trump is a front runner. So if he's a Republican head, then he's probably going to win. And we already expected that, but it's just a confirmation there. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The market was different when Trump was president. It was a fun market to trade in. C6 said, I guess he stopped trading if he's not. Yeah, when Trump was president, the market was more it was more directional. I think that's why we made so much profit during those years because it was so easy. You can like make a mistake. Like if you're trading in the direction of the trend, you can make a mistake and the trade will come to you eventually. It's just a matter of time until it does. Um, but the market was trending super heavily when Trump was president because he'd always have some. The problem with Biden now is that he's so passive, right? Presidents shouldn't be passive. They should have a stance on everything, right? The thing with Trump is like he had such a strong stance on everything. Like he had a strong stance on growth. He had a strong stance. Like he would lie through his teeth about everything, but it wouldn't matter because the market still believed him. Whatever he lied about, it followed through. So I think with Biden's like I never hear any like I don't see any press conferences from Biden. Um, Trump had a press conference like every day. His like Twitter was this press conference. He would post something, the market would just shoot up, or he'd post something, the market would shoot down. With Biden, I don't hear any. Like throughout Biden's presidency, I don't think I've heard anything from him at all. So like the market just doesn't react to anything. And that's kind of what we like. We like when the market reacts to whatever's happening around the world because it causes volatility. That's why this market has been so slow. If you guys have noticed for the past couple of years, the market volatility has been very slow. It's been a very rangy market, consolidating most of the time um, because Biden just doesn't shake up the market like he's supposed to. Yeah, Jonathan said, I remember being able to double dip into a position during that time. Yeah, we were able to like, you could miss a trade, it'll come back to your entry and you can double dip back into it. Or you could hit your TP, double dip back into it, and then write it back to another TP. It was just a crazy time. We had Trump as president, we had Brexit, we had COVID, there's just a lot of stuff going on, and they all kind of complemented each other. Like back then, we would take one trade a day for like 1,500 pips. If you guys remember that, that was our daily entry. We could take one entry a day, and we'd make like a ton of money off just one trade. The trade would take forever to hit, but it gave us leeway to just buy a trade and then hold on to it for like a whole day sometimes. All right, so we still don't have any entries here, guys. Don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything here. We currently have a lower low right here, but there's no V1 pattern. We also have a high right here, but there's no V1 pattern either. I don't really care which direction price goes. I'm just looking for that V1 pattern. Once I have that V1 pattern, that's going to be my catalyst to start looking for entry. So I'm looking for a V1 double body, double wick, and then from there, I'll look for either a breakout V3 or anything else. So there's a breakout V3 continuation that's setting up right here. Actually, a regular breakout V3, guys, if anybody's looking to take it. I personally am not going to take this trade because there's no confluence here. We have a lower low here, but there's no double body or double wick. So there's no confluence there for me to take this entry. Also, there's so many red flags around this area that I'm not looking to take a trade here at all either. We have 30 seconds left on this candle. So we currently have the buy signal, looking for a green candle to follow. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. We'll have a V1 variation pattern here for a sell, actually. And we can start looking for a sell if that might be the case, which I'm fine with too. So either this closes as a breakout V3 or this closes as a V1 pattern to the downside. Either way, there's going to be opportunity there. And there goes a V1 sell right there. Perfect. There we go. All right, so I'm looking for a possible breakout V3 continuation to the downside. I'm just hoping it pushes down here. I need it to push down here because I don't want to be stuck where the session is currently at. So I need price to climb down a bit lower, and then I'll look for some entries down here. or N entry if that becomes the case. Let's see, Ender's asking what happens if you blow your Apex account? Does it reset the next month? Yeah, it does. So if you blow your Apex account, you have two options. You can reset it for right now it's discounted, I think like $50. So you can reset your account for like $50, which is super cheap. Or you can just wait for the month to reset. And then when the month resets, it resets your account automatically. So you either get a reset manually or you can just wait, and then when the new month starts or the new cycle starts, you'll have a brand new account just to start trading. So it's pretty easy. I mean, it's pretty streamlined and straightforward. That's what I like about Apex. Initially, I thought Apex was super confusing, but once you understand how Apex works, it's not that difficult. It's actually a lot cheaper than any other funding company. It's just the structure is kind of weird. It's not the same structure that you're used to. Yeah, exactly. Next thing, you just got to wrap your head around it. Yeah, once you understand how Apex works, it's actually very beneficial, especially for our style of trading. And it's a lot cheaper too. Like the resets are so cheap, they're like $50 or $100. So like, say for example, you have like a 200K account or a 150K account, and say you just want to YOLO one day. Say one day you're just like, fuck it. You're just like, you want to be the casino that day, and you think price is going to go in one direction super heavily. I never recommend this, but these are thoughts that go through a lot of people's heads where like one day they're like, I'm just going to let this run and I'm going to see if this plays through. If it doesn't play through, I'll just reset my account, right? I'd rather pay a $50 reset than have to pay for a brand new account. Exactly. And Patricia, so another heads up, guys, Apex is currently 80% off. So if you guys go to the Discord, and I can post a link up for you guys as well. Let me just post a link up here. So if you guys are interested in it, it's currently 80% off right now. So it's actually really, really cheap. You can probably get an account for like $60 or something. So I'll put the link right here in the YouTube, and I'll also put the link. I already put it in the Discord, so I don't got to put it again. Or I'll just do it again right here if anybody's interested in it. So yeah, I mean, it's super, super cheap. Because if you're buying a brand new account with like FTMO or even TFF or any of those other companies, you're going to pay at least like 500 to $1,000. With Apex, you're paying like $80 or $60, and then like over the lifespan of your trading, if you don't, as long as you don't take like a whole year to pass, you're still going to pay less than what you would pay with these other companies. The payout structure is a lot different, but if you're still in that phase where you're still learning and you're trying to get things down, I think Apex is a good thing to start with because the barrier of entry is a lot cheaper, especially for someone who's not ready to drop like $1,000 on a funded account or on a challenge. Ender said, is it better to create a new account and cancel the old account from renewing? Yeah, so depending on the price of the account, Ender. So like right now, you can get a brand new account for like $60, a 150K account, right? It's better to just cancel the other account and start a new one. Because that's what happens when you reset the account anyways. When you reset the account, what happens is they wipe out your old account, they cancel that automatically, and they give you a new one. So you're pretty much doing the same thing, but if you do it yourself manually, it's actually cheaper. So you gotta figure out what the pricing is. So if the pricing is cheaper with the current discount, which is 80%, then I would cancel the account, open another one. That's probably the best option. But if the resets are half off and they're $50, then obviously the reset would be the better option. It's cheaper. But I think the best way, if it's 80% or higher, it's better to just get a brand new account because then you're gonna be locked in at that price, which is $60. So even if you need to renew it, it's gonna be $60 versus, yeah, exactly. Because the reset's normally 100, but it just depends if they're having some sort of discount. Exactly. Yeah, and you're getting it 100%. Yeah, reset's $100, new account's 38. Exactly. So you gotta see what's cheaper at the time. All right, so again, we have a pending sell signal right here, guys. there is a pending sell signal right here. So if the sell signal finally closes, this could be a possible breakout V3 continuation. I just don't like how it's been pending for like the past 5 candles here. You guys can see there's been a sell signal every candle up until now, and it still hasn't closed, which is not necessarily, it's not really a good sign, personally. Yeah, Maddie said if this closes, it's probably going to drop down to the next level of liquidity, which is going to be right there. And then also the Asia low. Okay. Like I mentioned, guys, that when this happens here, this is usually a sign not to take the trade. So if the breakout V3 comes up, I'm probably going to skip it, even though it meets my criteria, because this thing has been pending for so long. You can see there's not enough power here to push it down lower, right? So, I mean, if you guys have been trading with me for a while, if you guys ever see this, this is a repeating pattern where it'll just keep showing up, disappearing, showing up, disappearing. I would prefer it to retrace up a little bit. Again, right here, it's probably going to come up and then disappear. See, it's not a good, it's not a good setup. I'll mark it up for you guys. If it comes up, I'll mark it up for whoever wants to take it. But me being the cautious trader, I'm not going to hop into something that exactly. Yeah, Andrew said it'll probably tap liquidity and shoot up. That's literally what happens. It's like setting up for a fake out. As you can see here, it's trying to lure sellers in. It's trying really hard to lure some sellers in. Um, and I'm pretty sure people are getting lured in. Like as this continues to drop lower, I'm pretty sure people are starting to kind of get FOMO, right? This is where the FOMO comes in. It's like this whole drop happened and you missed out on this whole drop. So now you're getting FOMO because you want to get into the position, right? As soon as you get into the position, what happens? Reversal. So just understand FOMO, guys. Just think back to that time when this happened to you, because this has definitely happened to me before. This isn't something new. And it looks like there's a V1 pattern here starting to set up anyways. Double body right there. If this closes green, it's going to be another double body there for a V1. Yeah, Koch said right now they even have a 1-day pass eval. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to trade like one account and just YOLO it, just like I said earlier, you can possibly pass, Apex in 1 day. I don't really recommend it because it just instills bad habits in you. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys understand that, right? Like you guys understand the situation where if you pass your challenge in 1 day and you get lucky, you're gonna be stuck on that high. Like every day you want to have that type of win. And then if you get into that mindset where you just want to YOLO your trades every single day, you're gonna blow your account almost every day. Like you can't get that lucky. Like I don't know anybody who's that lucky, right? That can YOLO their account every single day and have consistent profitability. It just doesn't work out that way. So even though Apex has 1 day passive valuations, I don't really recommend it, guys. Because it's just going to instill bad habits in your trading. All right, so we have the V1 pattern right here, guys. Price is coming back up. Sell signal never closed. And we'll see where this goes. So it looks like price pretty much just created a new range here. It's kind of what it seems like. So I'll draw a structure here, and I'll draw a structure here. So there goes the current range right now. So you got the 1 minute support right there. So it's pretty much ranging right now between the 1 minute supports. Price came down, came back up, came back down. Man, is this another V1 pattern? That's crazy. You guys can see here, there's another view. If this closes red, yeah, there's another V1 pattern right there. All right, so price is obviously consolidating right here. Let me take this off. Price is in a consolidation phase right here. I mean, it's in a range, but realistically, it's in consolidation right here. It's too small. We'll see if it pushes through. If it pushes through, then this is going to be invalidated, of course, which it looks like it's going to. Yep. It's all good. That would have been crazy if that would have been another V1 and then it would just consolidate around this area, which I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, but it'd be very unusual for it to consolidate down here like that. ATR is currently 15. So it's not, well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's fast. The market's not super volatile. It's also not very slow. It's just pretty much consistent right now. And if it goes below 15, like it is right now at 14, it just means that the market's getting slower and slower. Let's see, Andrew said wipe out some sellers and come back to blast through liquidity. Yeah, I can see that too, Andrew. So yeah, I mean, it looks like price is probably just faking out. I mean, it could fake out, it faked out right here, obviously. Wipe out the sellers, come back up, and then come right back down and finish off the move. We still haven't had the sell momentum either. Yeah, exactly. What Andrew just said. That sell momentum never closed, guys. So you guys can see there was a pending sell signal that came up right here, right here, right here, right here. Pretty much all these candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it pushed back up. And then now it comes back down. So well, we're pretty much, it looks like we're going to be stuck in between the Asia high and the Asia low, which is completely fine. As long as we can get an entry around that area, that's kind of where price is going to be sitting. Steve said, Sean, when you say TFT, which prop firm is that on your accounts? I don't have any TFTs. I never say that. You might be confused with TFF. I've never used TFT and I've never recommended them. So you might be confused with me saying TFF, which is True Forex Funds. I've never used TFT. I know what TFT is, but I've never used them before. They used to have a bad rep back then, so I never wanted to try them out. So for my MT4 accounts, I have FTMO, Funded Engineer, which is FT, or sorry, FE, and then I have TFF, which is True Forex Funds. Those are the only two ones. TFF is True Forex Funds. Put the link there for you. Forex Funds. All right, so we currently have a breakout V3 continuation that's setting up right here, guys. It's not one that I would take because it's going to be right at the sessions. Also, there's no confluence here, so I don't have a V1 pattern here for a confluence for entry. But if this candle here closes red, this is going to be an entry for a breakout V3 continuation. The thing that you want to be careful for is that it's really close to the session. So, you don't want to get caught trading around that area where the sessions is at. It's also a V1 buy too, like Maddie said. So you guys can see there's a lot of conflicting analysis here. There's another V1 that's setting up right here. If it closes green, it's going to be a V1 pattern. If it closes red, it's going to be a breakout V3. And it looks like it is closing green. So it's another V1 pattern down below. Oh, shit. I need to push. My bad. Let's see. All right. So we got this right there. Another double body rejection for a V1. So at this point, I kind of want price to come down and bounce off the sessions. I want it to bounce off the sessions pretty close to it and then come back up from there. Might happen, might not happen. This has been the typical market conditions for this entire month. If you guys have been trading with me all January, this is typically what's been happening. We've kind of just been sitting around waiting. The entries typically come a little later in the session, which is we're getting closer to that point. So it's just, it's just a back and forth movement for the most part. Steve is asking, do you use MT5 on TFF? No, I use MT4. I think they have an MT5 option, but I use MT4. I've been using MT4 with them since the beginning. So, I mean, MT5 would be a better option, but I'm already on MT4, so I can't really shift over. Well, I can shift over, but there's no point because I have them all. I like to have them all on the same platform. So yeah, I use MT4 for pretty much all of my MT4, all of my non-Apex accounts are MT4 except for my personal. My personal is going to be MT5, but that personal is not available to everybody. It's not even available to the majority of people. It's just available to me because I trade that privately with a different company. I think MT4 in general, MT5, it's going to be dated. It's already dated. So, I mean, if you guys have been trading MT4, MT5, we always joke around about MT4 and MT5 being like a dinosaur program, being super old and dated. At this point, they're pretty much going to get wiped out from US clients anyway. So I don't really see myself looking to open any more accounts with them. If anything, I'm going to open more Apex accounts. So as I've discussed in the past, guys, I'm leaning towards futures accounts because I only trade US30, so I don't really need to be on MT4. MT4, MT5 is mainly for Forex trading. I don't really trade Forex. If I do trade Forex, I trade on Forex.com, which is a regulated broker here in the US. That's what I use for my Forex trading. And then for my futures trading, which is what we typically trade here, US30 and YM, I just use futures. So I'm leaning towards just sticking with futures at prop firms. So once I'm done with Apex, I'll be looking for more futures prop firms here in the US. The next one is going to be Top Step, of course, because I can just add it to my copier. And then there's a couple of other ones that are available in the US as well. I think there's like 4 other big names. They're all regulated here in the US. So it's just, if you're in the US, it's different, right? If you guys are not in the US, then I would just stick with FTMO. I think FTMO is great. It's just, it sucks that they kicked off US clients. Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day where that would happen, but here we are. All right, guys, we have a buy signal right here. If there's a green candle that closes after it, this will technically be a breakout V3 continuation. It does meet the criteria here for the confluence, but it does not meet my criteria for trend. The trend here is bearish, so I'm not really looking to take any buys here just yet. But if you guys are looking to take that, you can look for a green candle here. There's about 10 seconds left. It looks like it's not going to close. And if that's the case, there's not going to be an entry here. Yeah, no entry. Typical. This is kind of what we're stuck with. Recommendation, Sean. You've always been so helpful. Yeah, no, definitely, Ender. If there's any other questions, feel free to pop in the chat, guys. I don't mind helping you guys out. This is kind of just me giving back from what I've learned from you guys too. Like I would have never used Apex if it wasn't for Sisu pretty much hounding us every day about using Apex and CT with the proof of payouts and Maddie with the 20 accounts. I'm glad that we have this community because I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have an alternative to FTMO. Of course I could trade a personal account, but I like trading funded accounts. They just kind of give me they give me a sense of urgency to continue trading and to not and to stay on a trading plan. I feel like if I was to trade just a personal account, I wouldn't be as disciplined because there wouldn't be no rules to follow. With Apex, there's rules, so I can't hold trades overnight. I can't take super big risks. Like before, when I was trading my personal account, I would risk more than 5% per trade, right? I'd risk about 5%, if not more, because I had a smaller account. With these funded accounts, I've kind of trained myself to trade with less than 1% risk. So it's just more and more of a reason to trade like a professional trader. Yeah, exactly. Andrew said Apex low-key might be goated with the 20 accounts. And if it stays consistent, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm leaning towards Apex, guys. Because for example, here I make 500 per trade, right? And I'm taking low risk. This is I could take a bunch of trades and don't have to worry about blowing my account. If I make 500 per account and I have 20 accounts, each trade that I take here, each scalp, I'll make about 10,000, right? So that's my goal, to have 20 accounts and take one trade for 500 profit each, make 10,000 per trade. And if I do that, just take one really good trade, A+ setup every day. times 5, I can make about like 50,000 a week, which is like, it's a lot of money for taking just one trade. Obviously, January is not one of those months where it looks ideal, but there's going to be months where we're going to take more than one trade a day, and it's going to balance out throughout the year. So that's kind of what I'm aiming towards, right? One trade a day, make 10,000 per day, 50,000 for the week, 200,000 for the month, 2.4 million for the year. And that's taking just one trade a day. So that's why I'm kind of training myself to just be a lot more disciplined with my entries. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said that's my goal too right now. Just focusing on the strategies and executing properly. That's really what it is. It's really just being patient and being able to avoid losses. All right, so we currently have a double body right here. This might start to set up for an entry again, double body rejection for a V1. This could set up for a breakout V3 for a sell. Yeah, Andrew said just got an Apex account because my MT5 TFF accounts are still frozen. I think I'm going to stay with firms in the US from now on. Yeah, I mean, we already knew the risk trading with a lot of these kind of sketchy firms. It's good until it's not, right? And I've kind of mentioned that to you guys over the years. These prop firms, they're good for now, but they're only good for as long as they're good for. We currently have a sell signal right here, guys. This might start to set up for an entry for us for a breakout V3 continuation. That's what I'll be looking for here. We have the double body rejection. Rashida said her TFF still fine. I think mine's fine too. I just have to take a trade. I mean, yesterday it was working, so I don't know. We'll have to see. I guess we'll see now if I take this trade here or if the trade comes up. I'm just hoping it doesn't push too far down because it's going to be too close to the sessions down below, the Asia low. Maddie sent me the CNBC link. Let's see. There's breaking news over here from CNBC. It says Dow adds nearly 100 points. Yeah, so it said it was bullish there, price did the opposite and drop. Thanks, Maddie, for the link. That makes sense. All right. Steve said, can anyone vouch for the Forex funder? Wait, what? Sorry, Steve, I don't know what your question is. I don't even know what the Forex funder is. Can anyone vouch for the Forex funder TFF? Are you talking about a different prop firm or are you talking about TFF? Because I don't know what you're asking for. So you're asking if anybody can vouch for Forex funder. So either you're asking if anyone can vouch for Forex funder or if anybody can vouch for TFF, because I think there is a funding company called Forex funder. I'm not sure, but if you want to rephrase that, Steve, you can, but I just don't understand what your question is. Let's see. Ender's asking, what contract do you recommend for a 50K trader bait? So there's a company called Forex Funder TFF, or those two separate ones? I mean, I've never heard of Forex Funder before. It sounds like a funding company because it has funder in it, but I've never heard of them before. So I can't vouch for it. I mean, maybe somebody in the chat can, but I've never even heard of it. Let me look at them real quick. You got to keep in mind, guys, you guys can't be using bootleg funding companies, right? There's a, well, I mean, we don't even really have a choice anymore. So actually, I take that back. Before I would just send you guys to FTMO, but if you're in the US, you don't even have the opportunity to use them. Let's see, Forex Funder. Gotcha. Okay. Hmm. I don't know. I'm looking them up and they kind of look like they were influencers who decided to, yeah, I don't know. I'll let you guys handle that. Sorry, I got confused because I didn't realize that they were called TFF as well. There's so many TFFs out there. There's like 5 TFFs out there now. True Forex Fund, the Forex Funder. If anything, I would use True Forex Fund, not whatever the other one is. But all right, Steve, yeah, sorry, I can't help you with that. I don't have any experience with them. I don't think anybody else here does either. I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? You could be the test subject, Steve. Try them out, and if you get scammed, you can let us know, and then you can be the one that can basically tell everybody here not to use them or to use them, right? It can go both ways. All right, so there's no entries here, guys. Unfortunately, man, this market sucks. So we have V1s on both sides again right here. Price is pretty much consolidating. It's been doing this for, I mean, you guys can see here, it's been doing it for a while now. So actually, it's in the same place where it's been this whole time. So you can see here I drew the structure, but if you go to our clean chart, it's literally been the same. I've already drawn the structure. I drew it up like about 15, 20 minutes ago, and it's still in the same area. So yeah, I think I even drew this earlier on this chart. I drew that the thing was bouncing back and forth, and it's kind of just playing out like how we anticipated. Yeah, Ken said market his ass, came out with a small profit, calling it, and we'll see us tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Kenneth. We'll see you back here tomorrow. If you guys made profit today, great. I'm still looking to make my profit, but there's just nothing here for us to take at the moment. Price just keeps going back and forth. It's currently consolidating right here. We have news at 7:30. I'm hoping that this here will push out of this range or whatever it may be in, and then hopefully we can have an entry. But if not, then again, I'm not going to force any trades today. I'm hoping we get one though. We still have some time. It's 7:25 right now. We still have about like 30 minutes till 8. So I'll be around waiting for entries to come up, but just got to stick to the trading plan. Nice. All right, William. So we'll see you tomorrow. William took one pre-market trade and he's pretty happy for today. So that's good to hear. And I'll see you back here tomorrow, William. So we'll catch you back here when you return tomorrow for the next live session. So Ender, for the 50K TraderVate account, I could help you with that, but you need to let me know what is your max drawdown. Yeah, whatever your max drawdown is, Ender. If you can get that, I can probably do the math for you. All right, so thanks. Maddie over here actually just responded to it. So Ender, Maddie said he would use 2 to 4 contracts on a 50K. So 4 contracts max. I can still do the math for you if you really want me to. You can just put the max drawdown, but for the most part, Maddie said use 2 to 4 contracts on a 50K. It's just really up to your risk. How much risk is on 4 contracts, Maddie? I can just do the math here real quick. So 4 contracts times I think it's $5 a contract, right? Per pit move. So 20 times 30, that's 600 risk. Yeah. All right, so you have a max drawdown of 2,500. So 2,500 divided by 600, or sorry, 600. No, I had that right. So basically, if you're using a 4 contract, you'll risk 600. You can lose basically 4 trades back to back if you're trading that. I mean, it's just up to your preference on how much risk you want to take. If you want to risk more, you can probably do 6 contracts. 6 times 5 times 30, that's 900. 2,500 divided by 900. You got 2 trades. You probably want to use a 5 contract. Let me see, 5 times 5 times 30. at 750. Yeah, so you don't want to use anything higher than a 5 contract if you're going to be scalping with what we're doing here on these live sessions, Ender. So if you're on a 50K count, your max contract size should be 6 because you could have 3 back-to-back wins, 3.3 back-to-back wins before you reach your max drawdown, which it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen because we never have back-to-back losses like that. If you want to take it slower, then you can take lesser contract size. So yeah, 5 contract max. If you want to be conservative, you can use a 4 contract to 2, but 5 contract max for sure with a 30-point stop loss. If you have a bigger stop loss, you got to use a smaller contract size. But that's pretty much how you'd be risking for these live sessions, if that's what you'd like to do. All right, so let's see. Medusa asking, was that a double body at 719? One of the setups you typically look for. 719. Oh, so Medusa's talking about this one right here. So not exactly, because for the other high right here, Medusa, this would have to be another double body. So if there was 2 double bodies, double body, then that would be the entry that I was looking for. But there's only one here. This one previous to it was not a double body. So unfortunately, it doesn't meet criteria there. So again, right here too, for example, like yeah, kind of same thing right here. If there's double body here, if we had another double body at this top area for basically a double top, then that would be something that I would be looking to take for a sell right there. But you're basically looking for 2 V1s that align with each other, which actually work good in these types of market conditions, but we just don't have that right now. So does that make sense, Madhu? You're just looking for 2 V1s on the same level. There was only one V1 here. There's no V1 there, no V1 there. So no entry at that point. All right, cleaning it up again. And this market sucks. There's news right here. Take this off. Thanks, Maddie, for the heads up. News right there. Take that off. All right, so here we are waiting again. There's no opportunities here. Okay, so this is like super tricky. You guys can see there's a V1 on both sides. This is how you know the market's not moving at all. It's like straight flat. There's a V1 right here from the top side, and there's a V1 right here from the bottom side. I'm not even going to entertain that. I'm not going to mark it up as a V1 on either side because there's just no movement here. The ATR is currently at 12. Market's completely flat. There's no movement based off the news. The news was positive. It was mixed. Well, for the most part, it was positive. Yeah, I'm not going to draw this high low or the V1 pattern. There's a V1 on both sides. I'm going to wait for another V1 to come up. Let's see, Jeff's asking, does Apex work the same as FTMO in a sense that will cover the losses? So you mean like there's no risk on your end, right, Jeff? Is that what you're referring to? Like if you lose money, yeah, it's the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is their drawdown rule, but the drawdown rule doesn't really affect us too much because we're scalping. So yeah, it's not a big deal for us. Okay, so there might be an entry right here, guys. There is a V1 pattern. I wasn't going to draw that, but there's no more low there. So this might be a V1 variation, V1 continuation here. So the candle has to close red. There's a V1 pattern right there. This could be a breakout V3 continuation, but this candle needs to close red. So I'll be looking for that here. This candle has about 20 seconds left on it, so it still has a lot of time. I gotta wait for it. Again, you guys gotta wait for the candle to actually close to take it. If it's an iffy candle and I'm not sure if it's gonna close red, then I'm not gonna take it. I'm just gonna watch it. But if it's for sure, then I'll take it. It's not looking like it's going to though. Yeah, there's no entry there. Man, this market is so garbage. Yeah, okay. So there's no entry there. Again, there's a V1 pattern. There's V1 patterns on both sides at this point. I mean, it's been doing this for a while. You guys can see the range here hasn't really broken out. It's been ranging and consolidating within this area for, I think, like 30 minutes now. Going to our clean chart, you guys can see here, it's already been marked up. This has been marked up since before 7 o'clock. I marked this up at 6:51. So basically, I marked this low up right here. It's been ranging for like 45 minutes now. Not even range, this is consolidation. This is worse. Not even a range, this is just straight consolidation. If it was moving farther up and down, then I consider it a range. This right here is just consolidation. It's worse because when it's consolidating, you can't even take trades within this area. That's what makes it like more garbage, right? Because at least in a range, you can trade back and forth. But right here, you don't even have the opportunity to do that. Yeah. I mean, technically, if you wanted to take a V1 here, this could have been a V1 entry within the range, but I wouldn't have taken it because the trend here is bearish. So what I would do is if we do get another V1 pattern right here, so say, for example, price pushes up and we get another V1 right here, then that would meet my criteria for a V1 entry for a sell. So in a situation like that, I would still take the sell, which, I mean, hopefully maybe we'll get something like that. But I wouldn't have taken the buy here. There's technically a buy entry that could have been taken here, but I wouldn't have taken it because the trend is bearish. You can see there's a double body rejection right here, double body rejection right there. So technically the entry could have been taken right here for a buy if you wanted to take that V1. But I personally wouldn't have taken it because of the trend. The trend's bearish. So I don't exactly feel the need to take a trade against the trend here. So we'll see what happens here. Again, we may have a V1 pattern to come back down from this area, but we'll see. Yeah, Patricia said this is going to be another day, no trade. I have a feeling. Yeah, I know. Me too, Patricia. If I don't see anything here in the next couple minutes, then I'm probably just going to wrap it up. You know, I'm starting to get FOMO here. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are starting to get FOMO too. You know, just waiting for these entries to come up. So if you're starting to get that feeling, it's probably best to sit out the market. You know, you guys got to remember, there's no need to force any trades, especially on a day like this. I was hoping because of the high impact news that we'd have some sort of movement in the market, but unfortunately, we're not getting that. All right, so that high right there has pretty much been knocked out. Jonathan's asking, what is the YM symbol on Tradovate? I believe it's YMH4. It's currently the January cycle right now. Thanks, Kevin, for putting that down. All right, 737. Okay, well, we don't have anything here right now. I'm just going to go over the mentoring program again, guys. So if you guys are interested, I just want to give you guys, I'm going to remind you guys every day because I want to start this as soon as possible. So I'm going to start at the first week of February. Let me see if I have it here. Okay, so again, if you guys are interested in this mentorship incubator, as I mentioned, you know, over the past couple of days, I don't really mentor anymore. The only time I mentor is like once a year for the most part. I'm putting together this mentorship incubator. Basically, I'm going to be looking over your shoulder for a whole month of trading, basically an entire month of February. After this live session, we get on a mentoring session. I'll review all the trades that you guys have taken, not taken, trades that you identified. We'll input your trade entries into a journal, and then I'll answer any questions. We'll do that every day for the entire month. So basically the whole month of February, we'll be doing that. Basically to get you guys disciplined to follow a trading plan. The trading plan is going to be what we're doing here live. So it's going to go hand in hand with what we're doing here. So for example, you guys can see that there's a bunch of entries that have came up today, but I didn't take any of them because I'm disciplined to stick to my trading plan, right? My trading plan is to just take one trade a day or two trades a day that are quality A+ setups, and that's pretty much it. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get across to you guys too. So like I mentioned right now, there's probably FOMO that's building up in a lot of people because you want to take a trade, right? You've been on this live session for over an hour. You're ready to take a trade. You want to take that trade, but there's no trade coming up here. So with this mentoring program, this is basically going to train you to not FOMO to trades. It's going to train you to think properly, keep a cool mind and not force any trade. So for example, right here, you guys can see there's probably a V1 pattern that I was setting up. I could already see that a lot of people in the group are probably getting FOMO. They're like, okay, if this V1 closes, I'm probably going to take this because I want to take it right back down, right? I already know how you guys think because I think the same way. The only thing is that I'm better at controlling it. I can see the FOMO building up and I can see the FOMO kind of coming into play, but I never really execute on it because I know that that's a horrible decision on my end to take a bad trade after I've been consistent and disciplined for an entire hour. So again, the curriculum over here is basically for 1 month, we're going to be focusing on just these official trades, which is a V1 variation and breakout V3 continuation with confluence. Those are the only two strategies we'll be focusing on. Every day we'll be journaling our trades. So you guys have seen my journal before over here. These are all my trades from 2024. All your journals should look about the same. Initially, when you guys start the mentorship, your journal is going to look a little different because you're going to be taking different trades, right? You're going to be in that mindset where you're not really ready to follow directions. You're going to have a bunch of different trades here, but at the end of the mentorship, you want to have your spreadsheet to look exactly like mine. So your trading journal should only have the same trades I have. And that's basically going to guarantee profitability because you guys can see I don't take very many trades, but when I do take trades, they typically win and they do add up. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. First month, we're going to be doing the meeting every single day. Month 2, we'll meet like once a week. Month 3, we'll meet every 2 weeks. And this is going to help you guys, achieve consistency, discipline, and profitability. So if you guys want to apply for the mentorship, I'm only going to be accepting a few people. Usually I only mentor once a year, but if I like this program, which I think I will, I think it's a lot better because it's more hands-on. Then we'll start to stagger. So if I really like this group that we're mentoring, then for the next month, when we start meeting for a week, I'm going to start a new group for that. Then they're going to stagger. So every month a new group will start, and then we're basically going to get everybody on the same page. And then once you're done with the mentorship, you can move on to other strategies. You just want to get that discipline and consistency down. And once you're good, then you can start doing your own thing. And hopefully you'll continue to stick to your game plan. And that's really what the goal is from this mentorship. I'm not charging anything extra for it. If you're already, the only thing that you would need to be part of this mentorship would be have access to the indicators, because there's only one way for you guys to practice and to follow along on these live sessions is if you guys have the indicators to apply the strategies yourself. So that's the only criteria that's really necessary. I mean, also, I would like you guys to attend at least 3 trading sessions, which shouldn't be a problem for everybody here because you guys are here anyways. I mean, that's pretty much it. In the future, I might start charging for this though, because this is something that, a lot of people charge for. I'm pretty sure you guys can imagine, like people who pay for trade psychologists, right? People pay a lot of money for someone to just get their trade psychology down. And I'm pretty much doing it for free here for you guys. And I'm giving you guys 3 months of my time, which I typically don't do that for anybody. So yeah, if you guys are interested in it, join in on the Discord. And then I'm going to be sending out the acceptances by next week. Yeah, the V3 right here hit, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't take it because it didn't meet my criteria, but it did hit right here. So it hit like pretty far out. I don't know if anybody caught this trade. I don't think this is anything anybody could have expected to happen because the market was moving so slow. I did see it come up, but obviously it didn't meet my criteria. So I didn't want to take the trade there. There was a V1 pattern right here. There was a buy signal right here, followed by a green candle. This is the breakout V3 continuation. This is actually I think it's the actual breakout V3 because there was no breakout V3 that came up the entire day. So this was a breakout V3, like entire move, the actual breakout V3. There's no other breakout V3s that came up here. This was the first one. It also had the confluence here with the V1 pattern. The only reason I wouldn't have taken this was because the trend here is still bearish. If we were to replay this back to here, the trend here is still bearish, so I wouldn't have taken the trade. I trade the direction of the trend because lately for this month, that's typically where the market goes. So yeah, not sure if anybody took that trade there. It looks like Rashida took it. Maddie caught it, I think. Let's look at the team profits for the day. So looking over here at the team profits, we have David. It looks like he took it as well. Total profit of 43.70 for the day. All wins there. Nice work, David. We have Jeff over here. He pulled out of the trade earlier. He took for liquidity. Total profit of 430 for the day. Nice work, Jeff. We have Kenneth here. Total profit of 250 on his first account, 545 on his second, 560 on his third, 560 on his fourth, 560 on the rest. Basically, a total profit of about, let's say about 3,000 for the day. Nice work, Kenneth. And also big congrats to Deswell here. I'm not sure if anybody's used this funding company. It's called Cortana. I've never used it myself, but Deswell just got funded with them. So big congrats to Deswell here getting funded with Cortana. He's going to let us know if he gets his payouts and stuff, and then he'll let us know if it's reliable. But I've never used Cortana. But anyways, big congrats to Deswell for achieving that. Seems like every day we have somebody getting funded or getting a payout, guys. So I'm glad to see that here with the group. Because it brings up everybody else's motivation to keep striving for better. Nice, Maddie, you take it for 10 as well. Vince said no trades for him. Yeah, all right, Vince, we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, guys, we're getting closer to 8 o'clock. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Again, if you guys want access to the course, we have a free course here. So if you guys don't understand the strategies that breakout V3 is explained in the course, just go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. Again, the website's kodikaitrades.com. Once you click on this here, unlock your free access, it'll take you to the next page to sign up for the free intro course. This is what the free intro course looks like. Pretty much has everything broken down here. Like we have like thousands and thousands of hours of videos here. You guys have access to pretty much all the live sessions, all the mentoring sessions. But if you guys want to learn the strategies that we just discussed, so for example, that breakout V3 that came up right here, if you guys want to learn the strategy, it's in the free course. Just go to module 4. It's going to be called breakout V3 strategy. There's also the breakout V3 continuation with confluence, but if you just want to look at this one right here, pull that up on module 4.1. And then if you click on that there, pretty much all the videos are right here. Breakout V3 continuation, breakout V3 continuation with confluence, red flags, ways to avoid trades. And that's available to everybody. So if you want access to it, go get it. You just won't have the indicators. That's the main thing that you won't have. All right. So if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't really see much happening here. Price is finally back up, which is a great thing. However, I'm not really seeing too much here to play through. I'll wait for a couple more minutes here. I'll see if this low establishes. If this low establishes a V1 pattern, then I'll see if I can maybe catch this continuation to the upside. But if not, I'm just going to wrap it up, guys. There's no need for us to force any trades here. I'm already getting FOMO myself after seeing this big push right here. But there's no way you could really predict this was going to happen, right? I mean, you could have had a feeling it was going to happen because we were looking for that correction to the upside all day. But, I'm not going to put speculation into my trades. I'm only going to take trades that I think are absolutely going to hit. And this right here wasn't one of those types of trades. It wouldn't be considered an A+ setup for me. It'd be maybe like a B setup or a B+ setup. Not exactly an A+. The reason why I'm giving it such a high grade is because it had a V1 pattern right here. The only difference that I would be concerned about was for one, it was close to the sessions, and two, the trend was bearish. So You just gotta weigh the pros and cons. And once you weigh the pros and cons, you'll start to understand, okay, this should be a good entry, or this shouldn't be. All right, David, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. David said, as always, every live session is worth pure gold. Yeah, definitely, David. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. Nice profits on your account. All right, so let's see how this candle here closes. I'm gonna wait for the next two candles. And if we don't get anything here, then I'm gonna wrap this up. Actually, I don't even think we're gonna get anything here, guys. So I should just wrap it up now. I just realized because we have a buy signal here, we need to have a sell signal in order for us to have another buy signal. So even if we were to get a double wick or double body right here, it wouldn't even matter because we would need a sell signal to confirm it. So let's see. Nick said, gone about 20 minutes. Any trades yet? So Nick, there was a breakout B3, just the regular breakout B3 that came up right here. A lot of people took it. I didn't take it because the trend was bearish. And then there was a sessions right here, but a lot of people did take this trade right here. So this is one that you probably missed. I wouldn't have taken it though, because the trend was bearish and then also the sessions was right here. However, Maddie took it for 100 pips, which is doable. I think Rashida took it for a bigger move, which is the entire 300 pips. But the confluences did meet up here. The only difference is there's no trend. So I wouldn't have taken it myself personally. All right, we got a couple more profits here. Here's Vimal on a 10K challenge. He's testing out the pivot crosses. Total profit of 60.74. So 60 bucks for the day. Nice work, Vimal. Great profits there. We have Johnny over here as well. Total profit of 950 per account. So about 4,000 profit for the day. Nice work, Johnny. We have Maddie over here. Total profit of 1,355 per account down here. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts plus this above. So he has about like 6,000 profit for the day. Nice work, Maddie. All wins. And I think that's about it. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to send them in. Let's see, we got some more profits over here from Narith. Narith locked in a total profit of 5,330. All wins here on his FTMO. And we have Rashida over here with a total profit of 508 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. All right, looks good. Let's see. Nick's asking, how many contracts did you use, Maddie? I'm not sure. Thanks, Maddie can answer that. Yeah, this market got chaotic. This market sucks. But all right, guys. So there's another V1 pattern here that's starting to set up. The only problem is that there's so many red flags right here, so I wouldn't even bother messing with it. But there is a V1 pattern setting up right there. It's a little too tricky. All right, guys. Before I get FOMO, I'm just gonna wrap it up for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we're gonna close this out. Unfortunately, no official trades came up today. There's about 2 or 3 trades that came up, which were not really quality in my opinion. So I didn't take them, but they did play out perfectly. So, depending on how your risk appetite is, you guys can take those riskier trades. Otherwise, as I recommend, just stick to the quality trades and just watch your account grow over time. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. And if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise,